The first thing I wanted to raise with you is the department's management of the Technology Commercialization Fund. My understanding is that for 2 years after it was set up in the Energy Policy Act of 2005, the TCF was used to provide technology maturation funds to national labs, but it has been used for other purposes since that time. While I prefer the original approach, I think what we need is a forward-looking plan for how the TCF is going to be operated that will enhance the technology transfer mission at DOE. I think this is something that's very important. I've worked with the committee and DOE to put language into the Democratic Competes Reauthorization Act that would ask DOE for recommended policy changes. I understand work is currently ongoing to develop a plan. So I want to thank you for your work on this so far and ask, is there any update you can give us on how the planning process is going or what DOE's vision for the TCF will be moving forward?
Thank you. I think, first of all, the key is, and I will admit to it having been a frustration, the key is filling our technology transfer coordinator position with a very, very strong and I would say visionary person. We are, I believe, on the verge of finally succeeding in that, and this person will play a, of course, significant role in addressing your question directly. Secondly, we have raised this very directly with our Laboratory Policy Council. So with the lab directors and our senior leadership at DOE, we are specifically developing a plan around technology transfer. And again, it's been somewhat impeded by our unfilled position, but that will be corrected, I believe, within weeks. I feel confident this time that we will get past the finish line. And finally, our Secretary of Energy Advisory Board, CAB, is just forming a task force around a variety of laboratory governance issues, and technology transfer is one of those. So I think finally we are marshaling the resources we need to be able to answer your question. I ask for a little more patience, and we'll stay in touch.
Okay, well, it's certainly just want to emphasize the importance of that. Is I have before, and thank you for that. And anything that we can do up here certainly to help move that forward, be happy to do that. Next question. As you know, several national labs, including Argonne, which is in my district, have legacy nuclear waste on site. Currently, labs are using overhead dollars to manage the waste on site. But given that we may not see large budget increases in the future, these overhead dollars are precious for the labs. Does the department have any plans to characterize and package the waste so that overhead funds could once again go towards furthering the scientific mission of the labs, which, as I said, with the tight dollars we have right now, this is becoming increasingly a major issue for many labs, including Argonne?
This remains a challenge, and the entire environmental management issue across the department is also, like other things, up against these tight budget caps. In this case, in particular, in the so-called 050 account. Now, for perspective, I believe EM has closed out close to 90% of the requirements on managing legacy waste. But of course, there's still a lot to go in this business, including many of the hardest projects. With regard to the labs, where all I can say is we're trying to move on that. I have to admit, I don't know the Argonne situation as well as some others that are somewhat larger in scale. For example, in Los Alamos right now, we've had to move some transuranic waste urgently because we are concerned about the next wildfire season coming up, and we're trying to get everything out there. So we're trying to prioritize and move, and I understand the frustration and the challenge on the lab budgets. I might also just add, I think with Argonne, as you know, we've just announced a new director, and I think it's an outstanding choice.
Thank you, and again, I want to thank you for your work and continue to work on these particular issues. With that, I will yield back.
Okay.